Picks have been made for today's Cup race, and the truck race yesterday had some chaos with 3 overtimes. The roof of my mouth isn't the only thing that I burnt yesterday. We'll get into that and more next on Racin-n-Braisin. Well, hi folks, welcome back to Racin-n-Braisin. I am CJ. I am a chef with over 20 years experience and a lifelong NASCAR fan. And on this channel, I'm sure to give you news and analysis from the race weekend, as well as give you tips and tricks from my kitchen to yours. So thank you again for joining me here on Racin-n-Braisin. Let's get into what we have seen so far this weekend with action on track. ARCA and Trucks have had their races already at Michigan. Let's talk about the ARCA race first. There really wasn't much advertising for it. I didn't realize that the race was even on Friday afternoon until more than halfway through the race when I saw on social media Bob Hockgrass posted an update from the race, and that's when I clicked it on. Of course it wasn't advertised very well. There wasn't really much to see. Can we talk about the ARCA series just real quick? I just want to touch on this briefly. The speed discrepancy is so massive between the talent level of the drivers and the speed inherent in each of the teams that are out there, that the racing on the bigger tracks just is non-existent. It's just a bunch of people out there riding around in circles, and there's very, very little action on track. Yes, there was a pretty interesting chase for the lead on Friday to finish out that race, but it wasn't great, it wasn't compelling. It wasn't like there was a bunch of late restarts to really shake things up or anything like that. It just wasn't that good. So it leads me to wonder, is the ARCA series teaching enough racecraft to their drivers for their next steps? Brendan Queen won that race on Friday. He is a social media sensation. He's going to be a marketer's dream when he comes up into the next series. Sponsors are going to love him. But is he going to have the right racecraft from what he's learned in ARCA? I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the truck race yesterday. Pretty chaotic ending there with 3 overtime finishes. I was really, really happy to see Stuart Friesen win that race. I'm sure he's thrilled about it as well. He's had a really rough season and has been really down on himself this year, wondering why he's even continuing on. He is starting to get up there in driver age. I'm sure he's starting to think about when his retirement's going to be. Hopefully, this win here yesterday keeps him in the series a little while longer. He is a great personality in the series, and I don't know of anybody that has anything negative to say about Stuart Friesen. Let me gripe about Fox here real quick. I am so over their broadcast. First off, Jamie Little is not improving. Her storytelling is bland. Her descriptions are disjointed, and she's just not getting better at it. I really hope Fox is paying attention to all of the armchair critics like myself that are out there about this coverage that Fox is doing for the truck series. It's just abysmal. There was one point yesterday during an extended caution that they came back from commercials to literally within just a couple seconds tell us they were going right back to a commercial. I just joined X under the Racin-n-Braisin brand, and my very first X post was about how they just came back from commercial to go right back into commercial. Are you freaking serious, Fox? All right, that's my gripe. That's it. Truck race was okay. It didn't get good until the chaos at the end, of course. But that was expected, right? And that's kind of what we're expecting today. So let's get into today's picks. I had first pick in the regular season competition between myself and my mom. If you guys are new to my channel, the way we do our competition is we pick a different driver every week, cannot pick a driver that was used in the previous week, and we score the points based on their finishing position. If they get a win, that's 1 point. If they finish 25th, that's 25 points, and we score it according to golf rules. So you can see here, Mom has got a 37-point lead on me. We alternate who picks first each week. I have the first pick this week. I have a couple on my list for sure. Tyler Reddick was on that list, though I'm concerned about that diffuser issue from their flat tire yesterday. Josh Berry is on that list as well. Kyle Larson definitely on that list. His odds are really good, but ultimately I decided to take a shot. I've been doing that all season, and I might as well do it again here. I'm going to go with the talk of the town this week, Carson Hocevar. He's a Michigan native, which a Michigan native has never won at this track. This would be a first-time win for him, and only 2 drivers have gotten their first Cup win at Michigan. So I think he's going to beat the odds. Why not, right? So that left a second pick for Mom. She had a couple on her list, looking at Denny Hamlin for sure. He's high on the odds. William Byron also on her list. She even thought about Josh Berry. Even had Kyle Busch on her list. And I do want to bring up the comment that she made about Kyle Busch. She seems to think, and I agree with her on this, that RCR wants to put the focus on Kyle Busch getting their first RCR win of the season, not Austin Dillon, which would explain why Kyle Busch all of a sudden had single lap speed yesterday in qualifying when he did not have any of that during practice. Austin Dillon did, however, during practice, so they probably took whatever setup was in Dillon's car and threw it in the bushes for his single lap qualifying, which obviously starting second today is a big help for him. But that aside, that ultimately was not Mom's pick. Mom's pick today was based on the idea that today is going to be a strategy-based race, and it's going to take a bold pit call at some point to get someone a lead. And I think everybody immediately thinks about Joey Logano and the 22 team, Paul Wolfe on the box there, known for taking those pit strategy chances. So that's her pick today, Joey Logano. Squaring up against Carson Hocevar today. We'll let you know how those picks play out in tomorrow evening's video. All right, guys, finally, I didn't actually burn my mouth yesterday, but I did burn my pizza. I did burn my pizza. So my first attempt at Detroit-style pizza was not successful. I have made plenty of pizza throughout my career. I've stretched out plenty of dough, but they've all been, that Sicilian style or New York style pizza, so fairly thin. This time, making the dough was pretty straightforward. The only real difference was that I was using bread flour. The major difference, and this is where I had my fail yesterday, was in the actual cook of the pizza yesterday. I did a bunch of research and trying to learn as much as I could about right ways to do Detroit-style pizza at home. And what I had found is that if you didn't have the big 14x9 heavy metal, black steel Detroit pan, to instead use 2 8x8 cake pans. So that's what I did. I split my dough in half and stretched it out to the edges as prescribed and all that stuff. And then I decided to follow another tip that I had read to put the pans directly on the bottom shelf of the oven, not the bottom rack, but the very bottom of the oven as I cook it to get the bottom crisp. Well, it got too crisp. I did 12 minutes in the oven, brought it out. From the top down view, it looked great. There was that nice dark ring around the outside where the cheese had caramelized and melted down the sides. But as I got it out of the pans, quickly realized the bottom was burnt, and it was burnt. It tasted burnt for sure. So took a long time for the house to air out last night, get that smell out. I will be sure to do another attempt at Detroit-style pizza, but this one was a fail, and unfortunately, I'm not going to give you guys the video on that. But I will in the future, I promise. I'm going to make another attempt to add it and make a couple of adjustments. I've got them in my head here. I've taken some notes, and next time around, I'm going to make some adjustments to get a thicker dough, and obviously the adjustment on the cook there to get things rounded out for me. So that was my issue, but hey, nobody's perfect, and I am happy to share with you my failures as I continue to grow and learn throughout my career. So that's all I have got for you today here, guys. The race is at 2 o'clock on Prime. I hope all of you are having a great weekend so far. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel. All of that helps. Thank you all for joining me here again on Racin-n-Braisin. Stay happy.